It's the Mike Missanelli Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. You know, today is going to be primarily a Sixer day because I'm kind of lit up about this whole situation with the Sixers and what happened with Nick Nurse yesterday. So I'm gonna go for it. Bill is here, Ray's here. So let me say what I need to say. You know that the thing that's bugged me most of all is coming into the season with this notion that you're just going to mail in a regular season just so we have our guys healthy for the playoffs. I've resented that from the jump. And so now we're in a situation where the Sixers are basically telling their consumer, F you. This is basically what they're telling them. Because there is no urgency to play these guys. They are content to go through this whole process without even thinking about the fan base. And I know people are going to say, well, they're thinking about the fan base because they want to be healthy for the playoffs. The fan base has now become permissive to this new norm that's out there in the NBA. And the Sixers are stretching that new norm to the limit. Basically, the NBA is a consumer product. Is it not, Bill?
It is a consumer product.
It's a consumer product. They present entertainment for the consumer. The consumer pays the bill. And so when you let the fan base know that you're not that concerned about them paying the bill, what's going to happen? You have to then convince the fan base that what they're doing is the right thing. Frankly, they have utter disregard for the fan base with this whole situation with Embiid and Paul George. And I guess Paul George will be back. But the Embiid thing will go on and on and on and on. He's not going to play in back-to-backs. I don't know. Check the schedule, see how many home back-to-backs there are. So in other words, they're saying, you know, he may play in that game you have tickets for. He may not. You just got to pick the right one. It is bothering me to no end, this thing.
Couldn't tell.
Listen, I don't like consumer fraud. And this is basically a form of consumer fraud. But the biggest thing to me is that the fan base has now become permissive to it. And you're Exhibit A. Because you were saying from the jump when this was going on, you were saying, I don't care about this. It only matters if he's healthy for the playoffs. And I look around the NBA and I see Boston. Are they concerned about it? Those guys play every frickin' game. And you know why they do? Because it's a process for the Boston Celtics. They create a process to be ready for the playoffs by playing all their guys. And I just don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear this preservation bubble wrap mentality for the 76ers to con their fan base into thinking the only thing that's important is that he's healthy for the playoffs, thinking that this is going to make him healthy for the playoffs. It doesn't make sense. One thing doesn't jive with the other.
And you're not wrong today, Mike.
I'm not wrong.
You're not
the first
wrong.
I'm not wrong of the day, Ray.
That's the first one. But I'm coming more to your side on this because, yeah, I am okay with a little bit of a load management. I'm okay with a little bit of rest to keep him healthy for the playoffs. But what I'm not okay with is starting the season this way, where Joel Embiid's not ready, and they're not really giving us a clear message as to what's going on. And then news breaks yesterday from Shams that the NBA is fining the 76ers $100,000. And I'm reading, well, what are they being fined for? And I'm more confused today than I was even a couple of days ago because it says, sources said the NBA investigation showed that the Sixers did not violate player participation policy, but in fact with the public comments that did not properly reflect Joel Embiid's health issues with his knee. So now my mind starts going, should we be concerned? Is there something going on with the knee? Is there more of a problem with the knee than they are letting on? See, I don't love that you can't trust the messaging that's coming out. Is he hurt? Is he not hurt? Is this load management? Is it not load management? Was he out of shape when he came to camp or was he not? I'm so confused as to what's going on, and that's why I'm leaning more towards your side is What kind of tone is this now setting for this season? How do you expect to compete with the Bostons and the Knicks and all these other teams that have improved? And we don't even know what the hell's going on with our star player. Mike, I'm with you, man. I'm with you on this. I'm not liking what's going on at all.
He played in the Olympics. He comes to camp. He can't play. Now, I don't think he's hurt. I think this is their master plan to do the Kawhi thing that the Toronto Raptors did. The difference is that the Toronto Raptors were able to win a lot of games without Kawhi Leonard. This team is not capable of that unless they have the big three playing. And so what they're telling you is, you don't matter, fan base. You don't matter. Because our plan is, in fact, not only do you not matter, we've now got you to buy in to this whole concept that the most important thing out of this season is to preserve him in bubble wrap until the playoffs, thinking that that is a path to success. Thinking that if you don't play him and you only play him 45 game, whatever, there's going to be sensational success in the playoffs. And from my viewing of the NBA all these years, it don't work like that. It only works like that when you have a team that's capable of carrying on without them. This team is not capable of that. And I look at the contenders in the NBA, and I don't see the same thing happening with contenders, especially with Exhibit A, the Boston Celtics, because those guys want to play every game. Because they know if they play every game, that team is going to be solid. That team knows how to play together. That team is ramping up for the playoffs by playing the regular season. And I detest the fact that they con the fan base into thinking that this is the plan without regard to your entertainment dollar. Because I keep going back, what is the NBA? Does the NBA belong to the Philadelphia 76ers, or does the NBA belong to the consumer who buys the 76ers tickets, follows them on television, buys the products that they advertise? What is it? Does the Sixers have a right to hijack their own team and put it over here and say, yeah, it's over here, this engine that makes the NBA go, your dollar, because it's entertainment? That doesn't matter.
No, and the way they've handled this, you're right. It's showing like we don't care about the fans. When did they announce that Embiid was going to be out to start the season? It was like 48 hours before the season opener.
They've left you dangling, and that's my point. They show no regard to the consumer here, except for this notion that if we do this, it's going to be better at the end.
At what point? So yesterday, and we have the clip, we could play it coming up, but yesterday Nick Nurse was asked, and he shuts it down. At what point does Daryl Morey need to get in front of a microphone and just explain what the hell is going on? Like, at what point?
They don't. But see, this is the thing. There's nothing going on. There's nothing going on except the fact that they have this plan. They are so afraid and scared to death that he won't get through a regular season, that this plan is, well, we're not going to play him. Because at the end, when we're really ready to play in the playoffs, he'll be healthy. That's what the plan is.
Yeah, but do you really think that that's all that's going on right now? Is that we're going to shut him down for a couple of weeks of the season?
I think they're saying we are going to go at our pace, and the fan base and the consumer be damned. You don't have any say in it. We're going to cheat you for an entire year during the regular season because we've got you to buy into the fact that it's better that he doesn't play to preserve him for when it's really important.
So there's three scenarios as to what's going on right now. One is the knee is more hurt than we believe. Two is he came into camp out of shape. Or three, that this is an intentional, we're going to just preserve him. So you think it's three, that he's not hurt, there's nothing else going on, this is just clear preservation.
No, that doesn't absolve him of the responsibility to be in shape. That doesn't absolve him of the responsibility of losing 35 pounds like Tim Duncan did that one year so he could play. But I am telling you that they're playing. Where's the injury? Like, he played in the Olympics, okay? I get it. He's got a weakened knee condition. But like the months that go by as we get into the regular season can only make me conclude one thing. They have this plan to say, we need to preserve him. And it's not fair to the people who follow this team. And what galls me most of all is that people have become permissive to it. I'm looking at our board now of our callers. The first call says what?
Embiid should rest.
Embiid should rest.
Yeah.
They have gotten their fan base to be weak and permissive to this whole thing.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled. That's what the 76ers are doing right now. But then why did the NBA fine them? Why are they fining them for not being forthcoming with injury?
They want to let the consumer know that they're on it. That's all. They're on it. We're not going to let this happen. That's just a PR move for the NBA because they know the consumer is worried about this whole concept of load management. So they go, oh, we're protecting you. We're going to fine that team for this guy. And meanwhile, the Sixers go, hey, F you. That's what they say.
You want Embiid? You're getting Ungats.
That's exactly right. All right, today is General Knowledge Wednesday. I'm excited about this General Knowledge Wednesday because I think Ray's got a shot today. I think they are very Ray-friendly, these topics.
And another good prize today.
We have a great prize. We're back to the Nebraska gift certificate, $100. So that's good. Here's how you get in. 610-632-0975. We'll give you the topics for General Knowledge Wednesday. Are you smarter than Ray? Coming up.
Ricky Bit.